Hello, John Martin here with Nature Vancouver. Just to give you a brief update on the recent City Nature Challenge for 2024, and specifically how the Metro Vancouver Regional District performed, what results we had. Just to explain a little bit about the challenge, it is overseen by a number of different partners. The primary agency overseeing the annual event is iNaturalist USA. They started this, and the two primary groups managing the enrollment and engagement process is the Los Angeles County Natural History Museum and the California Academy of Sciences. Now, in Canada, we have an iNaturalist Canada, and the primary Canadian partner is the Canadian Wildlife Federation. Here in British Columbia, we have a number of cities. We're talking specifically about the Metro Vancouver Regional District. And here, Nature Vancouver led the initiative to uh, run the collective project for 2024. To give you an idea of who were engaged in this, the participating areas and partners in the Metro Vancouver Regional District listed on the right-hand side in the chart. There are quite a long list of municipalities, but they're all part of the MVRD. And there's also for some First Nations territories as well, and an electoral area up on the North Shore. In addition to that, we are joined with a number of other organizations. The Delta Field Naturalists were engaged, Burke Mountain Naturalists were engaged, Friends of Falls Creek. We also had engagement with BC Parks. Nature Kids had events, and the local ecology centers in Stanley Park and on the North Shore were also involved. Now, this year, 2024, was actually the 9th year. It is grown and is now a global annual global event, and is meant to document biodiversity specifically in urban centers or cities. It was a record year this year. For the first time, all 7 continents were represented. 690 cities from around the world, a new high, and certainly a significant improvement over the 2 cities that started it 9 years ago. Now, closer to home in Canada, there are 40 cities that, on average, in the last few years that have registered coast to coast. And here in British Columbia, there were 5 cities registered, one of which is the Metro Vancouver Regional District. Now, what does the Metro Vancouver Regional District actually look like on the ground? Here's a map of the boundary of the area. It was actually established as a political boundary a little while ago. But as you can see, it starts from the north, just around Lions Bay, includes Bowen Island, all down the coast, right down to the Canada-US border, across over to as far as Langley, and then up through Maple Ridge, and then back up on the North Shore. So quite a broad area, which means anyone living anywhere within this broad area could engage, and their efforts would be contributed to the City Nature Challenge. Now, how does the process work? It's a fairly simple, straightforward one. If you don't have a iNaturalist account, first step is to get one. They're free, doesn't cost anything at all, and they're fairly quick and easy to set up. You load up software on your computer, whether it's a standard PC or an Apple, it doesn't really matter. You can also load up software on your smartphones, and again, it doesn't matter what type of smartphone you have. And it allows you to start learning about iNaturalist. There's a lot of tools, and there's also a lot of extra videos that are available on YouTube and etc. Get to learn how to actually use the product. Next is, you pick an area that you want to participate in, whatever venue you wish to do. And you can either do this on your own, or you can join an existing walk. Nature Vancouver had 4 walks during the City Nature Challenge, and you can choose those, but other organizations and the municipalities had all sorts of events, and you just simply go to what best suits your purpose. When you're there, the idea is to make observations, and most people will make photographic observations. So you'll use a camera, either on your smartphone is an obvious one, but standard cameras as well, point and shoots, digitals, mirrorless cameras, whatever you've got. You start making photographic observations, but you can also make sound recordings as well. You can upload those up into iNaturalist, and from there you repeat the process over and over again, as hopefully as often as you can. So it's fairly easy. You've got the flexibility to engage when and where it suits you best. And that's generally true of iNaturalist in general, but now for the City Nature Challenge, the constraints are in terms of a date range. There is a certain date that's posted, and the area though is the whole MVRD, which is really quite a broad area. So the primary goal is, to find ways to get you out, people out there and connect with nature. Hopefully have some fun along the way, either on your own, with family, with friends, and just get out there and connect. The good thing about this is, as much as it can be a fun event for a lot of people, the data that's actually uploaded into iNaturalist is actually quite important and very valuable, and can be used to support a broad range of citizen science activities almost forever, so to speak. The iNaturalist also, as a platform, has got a lot of information in it, and even along the way, you can actually use it to learn an awful lot about the living things that you observe. There's background information, maps, descriptions, a lot of things that's already built, and it's getting bigger and bigger and more comprehensive with time. Great thing about the process as well is that you don't really have to know what you're observing. Some people are concerned about this, but the iNaturalist program itself will actually make suggestions once you've uploaded something. It'll say, well, we think it could be this. And you can decide that, and it may or may not be correct, but you don't have to worry about that. Because after the observations are there as well, other people can take a look at them and they will provide insights as to whether they agree or disagree about the identification that you've put there for an observation. Well, how did we do in Metro Vancouver Regional District this year? It was absolutely an amazing year in many respects. Kudos to the team that participated in this, because our area actually was rated #1 in the country in terms of most observations and most species, which is quite an accomplishment. I'll go through the infographic charts here on the right-hand side. At a very high level, on a global basis, there were over 2.4 million observations logged, which is incredible for, you consider it's only 4 days. It was quite a bit of growth year over year. My understanding is that there were several 100,000 more observations this year, so a tremendous year overall. Even in Canada as a country, we did 123,000 plus observations across the country. And again, this was a huge growth year over year. The gray bar starts to break down a little bit more about various cities and how they did within Canada. And you'll notice that we were actually ranked #1 for most observations, for example, of 14,066. Quite an incredible accomplishment for us. We only had 4 days to do this. We also registered 1,563 species, which is also amazing to think that there is that many different things that are actually living around us every day. Next two bars show the common species that were observed. And now this is at a country level. The mallard duck is the most commonly observed species in the country, followed by Canada goose and red-winged blackbird, and that's very similar to British Columbia. The other nice thing about this, though, is that just by circumstance, people will happen to stumble across species that are at risk. And this is a very important type of information that can be used going forward to know where perhaps we need to put a little bit of energy in terms of risk management. So if you are intrigued by this, if you want to check out, find out more information, certainly Nature Vancouver has some additional information on this. You can check it out at naturevancouver.ca. You can look for City Nature Challenge events, but in fact, Nature Vancouver has events going on quite often throughout the year. And there's many different groups there that you can check out to see if you're interested in learning a bit more and getting more engaged in that. But iNaturalist itself will have information, and it has it in the form of lots of different projects that are there. So if you're interested in fungi or amphibians or plants or what have you, there's bound to be a project or an initiative going on that is focused on a particular area that will match yours. So I'd encourage you to take a look at that. You don't have to join projects, by the way. Just by joining a project, it just makes it easier for you to quickly get back to finding out what is actually happening in that project. There's all sorts of events that are posted on web pages, such as venues such as Meetup. You'll see those posted every once in a while. And actually, the municipalities that participated often have events going on throughout the year as well, which will sort of give you a bit of practice and more opportunities to engage in doing similar types of things. If you haven't done so, there's take a note of the naturalist groups that are listed here. They're great sources of opportunities as well. You can always hunt on Google. And the other thing that seems to be happening is that there's a lot of organizations, and you might be part of that, like Scouts or academic institutions. They seem to be picking up on this more and more, and there could be opportunities there. So, irrespective of your age or when you're working or as a student, there could be opportunities there. Yeah, and remember, you can always just get out there and play with iNaturalist. Get out there on your own or with friends and family. Um, and the City Nature Challenge itself actually could even be done from your own backyard if you choose. The idea is to have fun, connect with nature and appreciate and learn about what's all around you. Well, if this has intrigued you, I hope that it inspires you to consider joining us for the next City Nature Challenge in 2025, which is running from April 25th to April 28th. We had a great year this year, and once again, thanks to everyone who participated. It was a phenomenal effort. But now we have a title to defend, so we're going to have to try to work even a little harder next year. Anyways, that's it for now, and thank you very much.